Despite Presidential Bola Tinubu's intervention, the rift between the duo had continued undebated and escalated during the recent local government elections in the state. Niger Delta Development Commission has commenced emergency repair of the failed sections of East-West Road between Warri in Delta State and Benin in Edo State. The commission said the repair would be more on the dilapidated section along Ibadulume, Abome, around about Mosoga and Olagbo. The NDDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, who disclosed this when he inspected the ongoing repairs of the failed sections of the road in the company of the Executive Director, Project, Sir Victor Anatai, and other directors of the Commission expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for giving the directive for the urgent restoration of the failed sections of the strategic road traveling the Niger Delta region. A statement issued by the NDDC Director of the Corporate Affairs, Mrs. Seledi Thompson Wakama, on Sunday. The NDDC boss said following a presidential directive to urgently intervene to restore the dilapidated section of the East-West Road, the NDDC has quickly mobilized a civil engineering firm to carry out remedial work to ensure that the people do not suffer unnecessary pains and dreadlock while construction work by the main contractors is ongoing. The NDDC Managing Director commended the federal government for promptly acting on media reports and outcries of the people to re-award the contracts for the road project, which has long been abandoned, and expressed confidence that when completed, the road project being supervised by the federal. Delta State Police Command has arrested a man simply identified as Daniel for allegedly stabbing a girl after sex romped in Agbo, Ika South local government area of Delta State. Eyewitness said the suspect, a regular customer at the brothel, has hanged his refusal to pay the agreed fee on his claim that the sex workers denied him ejaculation during the third round of the sex romp. While the sex worker was insisting that he must pay the complete amount as agreed, the suspect picked a knife, possibly from the sex worker's kitchen, stabbed her and dragged the knife downward. The man was arrested by police officer after the distress call by some residents. The sources added that the victims, whose identity could not be ascertained at the time of filling this report, was in critical conditions when she was rushed to the hospital for medical attention. A police officer in Agbo division of the police who confirmed the arrest said a team of police officers from the division was dispatched to the scene after a distress call, while the state's police public relations officer Bryce Edafe said he had called DPO Agbo, who promised to get back to him on the matter. Enugu State government has clarified the controversial mortuary tax imposed on the corpses in the state, adding that it was not intended as a revenue-generating measure, but rather to discourage excessive storage of deceased bodies in mortuaries. The executive chairman of Enugu State Internal Revenue Service, Emmanuel Nami, who disclosed this while reacting to the mortuary tax circular addressed to all mortuaries attendants, said, in line with the provision of Section 34 of the Birth, Date and Burial Law, Cap 15 revised that Law of Enugu State 2004, the state government approved the implementation of the mortuary tax. According to him, the amount to pay as the mortuary tax was 40 naira daily and not 40,000, stressing that it is an indirect tax paid by mortuary owners, not deceased family. Tragedy struck in Oshodi area of Lagos State when a train crushed a 50-year-old man identified simply as Emmanuel to death. The deceased sister, whose name is not known yet, informed the police that she received a call around 9 a.m. alerting her that her elder brother had been fatally struck by the moving truck. Police Public Relations Officer Lagos State Command Benjamin Honduyan in a statement confirmed that the Mosofejo division of the command was notified of the incident and police immediately dispatched a team of directives to the scene. Honduyan further confirmed that the case had been transferred to the Railway Police Command in Butte Meta for further investigation, adding that the exact circumstances surrounding the accidents are still unclear after a similar incident was recorded in Moshin area of the state in August when a male adult was crushed to death by the moving train. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, in a statement signed by its spokesman Nosa Kubo, said the victim was found dead at the scene with several injuries sustained from the collision. Suspected serial killer Ogunadike Philip, who made young girls his victim, has confirmed to how he gets 3 females killed to get their phones to sell and get some money as ransom for their families while pretending they were still alive. He spoke on how to raped 2 victims before killing one of them and only spared the life of his 4th victims after collecting her phone, adding that he bore different names in all the places he has gone to so that he would not be easily detected as an ex-prison inmate and serial killer. The suspect, who spoke boldly and seemed not afraid of the worst judgment to be delivered on his case by the court of law, however, said that he would choose a decent part of life if opportunity to come in the next world. Philip, aged 29, was arrested by Ogun State Police Command for allegedly kidnapping, raping and robbery before killing his victims, and the late victims include Dina Abigail Ogunyemi Mary and Akinsanya Abibat. An exhibit recovered from him include iPhone XR, iPhone 11 Infinix or 10 phone, money points, POS machine and 2 black robes. The Commissioner of Police Abiodun Alamutu said on May 26, 2024, Abigail and nurse left her home at Iyana Edagbo in Ekweroko local government area of the state to her workplace at Sodipo Medical Center, Itori, but was kidnapped and taken to a forest in the same area. And Philip robbed the victim of the iPhone's XR and strangled her to death. The kidnappers later contacted the victim's family on phone and collected a sum of 50,000 as ransom after abandoning the corpse in the forest. Ogun State government has issued a strong warning to the National Union of Road Transport Workers, threatening to restrict the activities if peace and order are not maintained within the union. The warning followed recent internal conflicts within the union, particularly in Ode, which have raised concern about public safety. A statement issued by the Ogun State government and shared on its X platform on Sunday, the government said it would not allow any group to disrupt the peaceful environment that has been cultivated in the state. The statement comes after reports surfaced of the potential protest by some NURTW members in Nigeria who were allegedly challenging the decision of the union's established leadership in the state. In response, the Commissioner for Transportation, Benga Dairo, cautioned the union's member, warning that any attempt to disrupt the peace would lead to restrictions on the union's activities in public space, and also reminded the union of their responsibility to operate within the law. Experts has advocated for better working conditions and welfare for boost medical staff efficiency across the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program 18 Sunday, a social political analyst Okeku Odenkwo stressed on the need for a review attention concerning health workers as well as professionalism in the practice.
Well, a medical personnel is well paid. I don't think there will be need for him or her to engage in some form of unethical practice. Secondly, persons that are inducted, how, you don't churn out half-baked graduates. Were they properly drilled?
Also expressed displeasure over incessant strike during academic section.
My worriness most at times is this issue of a strike too, where the government universities will go on strike, and then as soon as they call off strike, they hurriedly crash the programs, the studies to just meet up the academic calendar, and then you graduate them out to go and turn human beings to become animals. You know, in terms of performing surgery and all of that. So I think that that's why most times I get too worried in this strike.
This comes as the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria said the country is in dire need of medical doctors owing to the growing population of the country as well as the brain drain syndrome. Kogi State Governor Ham Ododo has urged directors of local government and treasurers to uphold the tenet of local government or professional ethic in the discharge of their responsibilities. Ododo, who disclosed this at an interactive section on Sunday at the Forum of Directors of Local Government and Treasurers at the Government House in Lokoja, charged the local government administrators to see themselves as representatives of the government at the grassroots, adding that their performance as top civil servants would strengthen the relationship between the government and the people and bring about more development in local government administration. Ododo commended the resilience and productivity of the Director of Local Government and Treasurers, stressing that their importance is to ensure accurate records and upholding professionals' ethnic, particularly among accountants in the public sector, is crucial for transparency and accountability in governance. He also called for unity among officials, encouraging them around the Accountant General of the state, Habibad Omomoko, to ensure the delivery of democracy dividends to the people at the grassroots level. Vice President Kashim Shettima has unveiled a strategy document of the Nasarawa State Human Capital Development Agency, which is aimed at improving the welfare and means of livelihoods of residents across the 13th local government of the state. The Vice President also unveiled the state's Gender Transformative Human Capital Development Policy Framework, which seeks equality for both male and female genders in the state. Speaking at the event, which was held at the Government House, Lafia, Shettima, who is also the national chairman of the Human Capital Development Agenda, expressed the commitment of President Bola Tinubu's administration to lift many Nigerians out of poverty in the shortest possible time through the numerous unfolding government policies that had been put in place by the federal government. He said the government was not only committed to ensuring that youth acquired employable skills, but it aimed to empower them to export those skills globally for them to be able to compete at the highest level of the international markets. Shettima commended the Nasarawa state government and its Human Capital Development Agency for their untiring effort in ensuring that all residents of the state, especially the youth, are given the needed empowerment and support to improve their livelihoods. Suspected armed bandits blocked the ever-busy Gwaushu-Fatua highway and abandoned an unspecified number of travelers in Zamfara state. Eyewitness say the bandits allegedly blocked the highway between Kucheri and Magazu communities in Tafer local government area of the state and stopped moving vehicles with gunshots. The spokesperson of the Zamfara State Police Command ASP Yazid Abubakar confirmed the incident, saying an unspecific number of travelers were abandoned during the attack, adding that the police and other security agencies are currently in joint rescue operations to rescue the adopted victims. He also denied the report that 5 mobile policemen were adopted during the gunshot with the bandits, adding that Zamfara is one of the several states in north, west and central Nigeria authorized by heavy armed gang who carried out mass adoptions for ransom as well as burning and looting homes. The gangs who maintain calm in the huge forest straddling Zamfara, Kaduna, Katsina and Niger State have also undertaken large-scale kidnappings of pupils from schools in recent years, and this is coming after the gang raided 4 villages in Katsina State, Sabua district, killing 25 people, mostly local vigilantes, in an apparent reprisal over military offensives on their hideouts. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has pledged to support the families of the 9 Communities Protection Guard members who were killed in ambush by bandits last week. The governor made the pledge during a condolence visit to the Tafa Emir's palace, where he met with the buried families. A statement on Sunday said during the visit, Lawal expressed his deepest sympathy and assured all that the state government would take the full responsibility for the well-being of the fallen guarded families. Lawal said the sacrifice made by the guards would not be forgotten, adding that the state remains committed to eradicating banditry, and in addition to his assurance, the governor announced the donation of money and foodstuff to assist the families of the victims. The Emir of Tofe, Haji Mohammedu Bawa, expressed his gratitude for the governor's support and timely intervention. 26-year-old man identified as Nura Maswad has reportedly set ablaze his grandmother, Zuwaria Mohammed, alive in Zuazul village. Dan Wakari Word, Sule Tankaka, LGA of Jikawa State. Musward, who confessed to the crime, claims that the late grandmother upset him by expressing concern about his physical appearance and health, which does not go down well with him, and had on several occasions warned her, but she refused. Hence his action to buy petrol, pour and ignite fire on her at her family house. The spokesperson, Jigawa Police Command DSP Shisu, who confirmed these to newsmen, said Swart has since been arrested. DSP Shisu said on 8 October 2024, the command was notified of a sad and regrettable incident that occurred in the Swazu village, Dan Wankari local ward. Tankaka LGA had an elderly woman eventually pass away while being admitted as a result of the conflagration. The medical doctor on call clarified her death, and the couple was released to relative for burial according to Islamic rites. A team of police directive from the Sule Tankaka division quickly arrested the suspect and detained him in a cell, and he was later referred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for a district investigation. You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Return after this break. Welcome back. This is a transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has advised Nigerian universities to focus on demand-driven research that supports industrial growth and national development. Tinubu made the charge to Nigerian universities in his speech at the maiden convention of the Federal University Benin, Kebbi. Tinubu, who was represented at the occasion by the Minister of State Education, Dr. Tanko Yusuf Sanusi, highlighted the government's effort to address infrastructure deficits and increase budgetary allocation to the education sector. The Chancellor of the University, Eze Dr. Cletus Ikechukwu Eloyunya, CON, reaffirmed the university's commitment to participating in the formulation and the implementation of the government's policies and aligned with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration. He also congratulated the graduate and recipient of the honorary degrees award of the universities as he has commended former President Goodluck Jonathan for establishing the Federal University Benin Kebbi in the year 2013. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called on Nigerian leaders to judiciously use the country's abundant resources to develop the nation. Speaking at the Methodist Archdiocese of Abuja's 40th anniversary celebration on Sunday in Abuja, Obasanjo said Nigeria has all it needed to thrive and stressed the importance of appreciating God's blessing. Obasanjo urged leaders, clergy, and citizens to pray for the country's healing while acknowledging that Nigeria's current situation isn't God's fault. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Nyesom Wike, commended the Methodist Church in Nigeria for its commitment to social justice, education, and humanitarian outreach, and praised Methodist Church Nigeria for its pioneering roles and impactful vision. In his message, our appreciation and gratitude to God Methodist Church Pilot Dr. Oliver Abba stressed the importance of appreciating God amidst challenges, adding that Nigeria's challenges require divine intervention while calling for peace and faith to achieve the needed goal. Analysts have expressed dismay over electoral irregularities in the country by INEC and desperate politicians. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program, Open A political analyst Lukman Egila queried the misconduct of elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission since inception in the country. On his part, Ugochukwu blamed the National Assembly for failing to tackle the issues of electoral irregularities at the grassroots. This is coming after the Senate in Abuja strongly condemned the recent local government election conducted in many states to elect chairmen and councillors, describing them as shame and rape of democracy. People's Democratic Party has commended the conduct of its state congress in Kano, vowing to bounce back strongly and form a formidable party to reclaim power in 2027. The party's Northwest Zonal's National Vice Chairman, Senator Bello Yayutu Gazo, who stated this during the Delegates Congress in Kano, said the party will triumph in the 2027 election. Guazo, while in a high spirit, expressed confidence that the party would make a good outing across the country in the 2027 general election, adding that leaders are trying to create a solid foundation that will revive the party in the state and across the nation. According to him, the PDP in the state remain one formidable force and there are no faction in the party. Also speaking, the chairman electoral panel, Aliyu Magagani, Delegated by the party national headquarters to observe the Congress applauded the party's officials at the state level for a job well done, stressing that the smooth conduct of the Congress is an indication that the PDP will soon settle existing differences between some persons within the party for a better and stronger opposition that can defeat the ruling party. On his part, an elder of the party, Dr. Omar Musa, who represented the former governor of the state, San Ibrahim Shekaru, said the party will produce a winning team that can march in any election. Apexibo Social Culture Organization Ohaniez Ndibo has called on the President Bola Tinubu to uphold funds meant for the local government and Nigeria due to the action of the state governors. The body says state governors are arm-twisting local government chairmen over council funds. A statement by Ohanese's factional Secretary General Okechukwu Isiguzoro described the action of the state governors as an affront to the democratic principles and the rightful autonomy of their local government council across Nigeria. The group said recent judicial mandate by the Supreme Court, which unequivocally granted full administrative and financial autonomy to the local councils, is being flaunted with impunity, adding that the conduct is to the reason of the foundational tenet of the democratic framework, which relies on the co-equal of functioning of the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches of government. Okechukwu Isiozoro also said Ohaneze Ndibo cannot remain silent in the face of monumental fronts being perpetrated through the brazen manipulation of the local government system, and expressed deep disappointment that such a regressive and condemnable agenda could orient from the Southeast governors, especially Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State. Federal government has intensified effort to rescue Nigerians currently trapped in Lebanon as the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah worsen. This comes after the president of the Nigerian community in Lebanon, Roland Agibovobioza, said more than 70 Nigerians have so far registered for evacuation from the crisis-ridden countries, why the current crisis began in September, which Iran launched a barricade of 180 ballistic missiles towards Israel in retaliation for the assassination of Iran-backed militant leaders. The missile attack, which targets key sites in Israel, sent Israelis crumbling to shelter, raising concern about the wider regional conflicts. And although the Israel's defense forces managed to intercept the missiles, the incident has highlighted instability in the region, including Lebanon, which bother Israel's and face its own internal security challenges. In response to the situation, the federal government, through the special assistance to the Nigerian president on social media, Dada Olusegun, issued an alert on October 1st via X handle, urging all Nigerians in Lebanon to get in touch with the Nigerian embassy in Beirut for profiling documentation on potential evacuation. And now to business reports. New Nigerian People Party has applauded the President Bola Tinubu to seek the help of former President Goodluck Jonathan on the economic crisis in the country. The call came barely 3 days after the Nigerian Labour Congress and the organized private sector called for the reversal of the new price regime. This is coming after the report from the retail section of NNPC, which raised the price of petrol to 1,030 naira from 897 liters in Abuja and from 866 and 68 naira per liters to 998 naira per liters in Lagos, which later locations witnessed similar price hike, are a development that triggered anger among youth. National Secretary of the NNPP, Dipo Olayoko, said it was obvious that the current administration did not even have enough ideas on how to take Nigerian out of the wooden harden that the present government has no iota of a solution to problem of the Nigerian. Olakune, however, suggested that unless Tinubu sought to help of experiencing political administrators like Jonathan, whose experience in governance would count the masses, would continue to wallow under the yoke of hardship. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to immediately reverse the second increase in petrol price in 1 month, pending the hearing and determination of the suit before the Federal High Court, Abuja, challenging the legality of the power of the NNPCL to increase petrol price. A statement on Sunday by Serap Deputy Director Kolawale Oluwadara, the organization had last month filed a lawsuit against the president and NNPCL over the failure to reverse the unlawful increase in the pump price of petrol and to probe the allegations of corruption and mismanagement in the NNPCL, adding that the latest increase in petrol price makes a mockery of the case pending before the Federal High Court and creates a risk that the course of governance justice will be judiciously impeded or prejudiced in the case. Serap also said allowing the Federal High Court to hear and determine the price would be entirely consistent with the letter and the spirit of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended to uphold the rule of law, pending that, adding that increasing petrol price while the Federal High Court case is pending would be prejudiced and also undermine the ability of the court to do justice in the case, as well as damage public confidence in the court and impede the course of justice. The group also warned that if not immediately reversed, the latest increase in petrol price would seriously undermine the integrity of the Nigerian Constitution and have serious consequences for the most vulnerable and disadvantaged Nigerians and the public interest. Still ahead, international tidbits. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called on the NU chief Antonio Guterres to remove peacekeeping force in South Lebanon immediately. UN interim force in Lebanon said a fifth peacekeeper was injured in southern Lebanon in weeks, while the Lebanese Health Ministry says 15 people were killed in 3 Israeli attacks on Deir Bella. The IDF says Hezbollah launched about 320 projectiles from Lebanon into Israel, and while in Gaza, at least 29 people have been killed in Israel's airstrike in the central and northern Gaza Strip. Palestinian health officials estimated that 150 people have been killed, while the past weeks were residents saying the Israeli military has encircled Jabalia and ordered them to leave via one corridor. At least 8 people have been confirmed dead and thousands stranded without power after violent storm ravaged central and southeastern Brazil. The storm came after the country's experienced its worst ever drought, intensifying the impacts of the severe weather, and Brazil's National Institute of the Meteorology, while the wind reached speed of up to 100 km, with some areas receiving as much as 10 centimeters of the rain in the single day. The state of São Paulo, Brazil's most populous region, has been hardest hit, with several fatalities reported that the deaths were primarily caused by the falling trees and collapsing infrastructure due to the intense winds and heavy rainfall. Many residents of São Paulo described the storm as sudden and overwhelming, the blackouts plunging large areas of the state into darkness. Its response to the prolonged outstretched residents of the Parque São Roberto neighborhood in the São Paulo staged a protest, burning pots and pans after enduring more than 24 hours without electricity, while in the capital city of Brasilia, a soldier was killed and another injured during the storm at the military police headquarters. Ukraine's human rights Obudesman has denounced the alleged execution of 9 Ukrainian troops by Russian forces in the Kyiv border region. Damtro Lebinin said they had been written to United Nations and the Red Cross about the allegations, accusing Moscow of breaching all the rules and custom of war, adding that the intervention follows a report by Ukraine human rights organization Deep State, which published drone footage populating to show the dead troops who were drone operation. Kyiv have deployed thousands of troops into the Russian border region since it launched a shock incursion earlier this summer, while the dead Ukrainian troops trapped to their underwears and lying face down in what appeared to be farmland in Kursk. The outlet said the drone operation has been overrun by the rapid Russian advance, and Kyiv has frequently accused Russians of executing captured Ukrainian troops, a war crime under the Geneva Conventions. It added that an official investigation has been opened into reports that 16 Ukrainian soldiers were executed in the eastern Donetsk region near the city of Povskos, where fighting was ranged for months, and officials said the report would mark the largest mass execution of Ukrainian prisoners of war by Ukraine troops since Moscow launched its invasion in February 2022. At least 16 people, including 3 women and 2 children, were killed in a fresh Sakatran crash in Pakistan northwest. Sunni and Shiite Muslim tribes have been engaged in the intermittent fighting for several months in the Quran district of the Pakistan Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Quran, formerly a semi-autonomous area, has a history of bloody confrontation between tribes belonging to the Sunni and Shiite act of Islam that have claimed hundreds of lives over the years, while other recent clash in July and September killed dozens of people and ended only after a Jeriga or tribe council called on ceasefire. This is coming after the Shiite community in Pakistan, and the predominantly Sunni Muslim country, has long suffered discrimination and violence. And now to entertainment news. Jonas Kelly, the daughter of the famous American singer R. Kelly, has claimed that her father sexually abused her as a child. Jonas said she faced reported abuse to her mother, Dara, in 2009. The 26-year-old, who did not detail the alleged abuse, stated in an episode of the documentary titled Karma, A Daughter's Journey, that the jail sentence of the 57-year-old singer is well-deserved. Reacting to the documentary, the singer's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjon, in a public statement, denied the allegations, adding that the singer was sentenced to 20 years in prison in February 2023 for child pornography and incitement charge. He also served the years currently with a period 30 years prison sentence from the separate case in New York in July 29, 2022. And now to sports news. Super Eagles flew out to Libya on Sunday morning for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying March Day 4 encounter against the Mediterranean Knights. The team's chartered flight had a stopover in a Kano before proceeding to Benghazi. The Super Eagles were previously scheduled to travel to Tripoli and then make a 2-hour trip by road to Benghazi, and the plan was, however, later jaded to avoid stress for the players and officials. Libya will host the Super Eagles at the 10,000 capacity stadium in Benina on Tuesday. The ground is 10 kilometers from Benghazi, while the encounter will kick off at 8 p.m. Nigeria time. Galatasaray manager Kan Kuruk Okan Buruk has provided an update on the future of striker Victor Osimhen, that he is currently on loan with Galatasaray from Napoli. There have been reports suggesting that his stay at the Turkish grounds could be cut short with an exit in the January transfer window because Prime League Premier League club, Chelsea was one of the teams being linked with the 25-year-old. Baroque insisted that Osimhen is happy at Galatasaray roll out the possibility of former Lille player leaving in January. Former Everton chairman Keynes Yanis has urged Manchester United to appoint their former player Michael Carrick as their new manager to succeed Eric ten Hag. One is insisting that Carrick, who was Manchester's Manchester coach in the past, is a good manager. Ten Hag is under the intense pressure at the Old Trafford and is very much fighting for this job and speculation over his future. And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Immaculate Irikana. Join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. Also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Good morning.